2023 has finally come to an end, and everyone's looking back at the year that was and making their best of the year type lists. And I'm no exception. This year, I decided to rate every single anime I watched in 2023 on a scale of 1 to 10 on the Hanakawa Fantanas scale. But I made a couple rules for myself. Rule number 1, I have must watch the anime to completion. Rule number 2, if an anime started in fall 2023 but is continuing in winter 2024, I will not rate them. I will not be talking about Frieren, Apothecary Diaries, and Undead Unluck. And the last show that I'll be rating will be my anime of 2023. With that out of the way, let's get started. Bocchi the Rock. Bocchi the Rock tells the story of a girl who has extreme social anxiety, but slowly overcame it because of music. From the animation to the voice acting to the music, you can tell that the people who worked on the show generally loved it. Strong 9. Death Note. Many people consider Death Note to be one of the greatest anime of all time, and I generally agree with them. For 2/3 of the series, I was anticipating the mind games that L and Light would play with each other, and many times I did not know how it would go. But the last third of the series does not hold up in comparison to what came before. I still like the ending, but then there was a struggle for me. Strong 8. Blue Lock. Blue Lock was just extreme hype that brought in likable characters. It is definitely not traditional soccer that people might expect, but it's still very good. Decent 8. Toma-chan is a girl. Toma-chan is a Girl is a series where a girl wants to confess to the guy she likes, even though she thinks he only sees her as one of the guys, but he also fell in love with her. It was fun for some episodes, but I'm also glad they didn't drag out this series. Decent 6. Tokyo Revengers Season 2. Season 2 was such a hard watch. The amount of stupid decisions that happened this season was frustrating. Even the ending of the main part of this arc was so annoying, I did not like it. It was just not a fun watch for me. Season 5. Demon Slayer, Swordsmith Village arc. I was not originally planning to watch this arc because this was one of my least favorite arcs in the manga. The anime for Demon Slayer continues to elevate the original manga content and made it generally more enjoyable to watch, but it still feels like a filler arc to me, even though it is not a filler arc. Light 7. The Dangers in My Heart. A show that continues the trend of loser boy somehow gets with a very attractive girl. And I love these type of shows. At times this show is very wholesome, even though it is very degenerate. Decent 8. Heavenly Delusions. Heavenly Delusions is probably one of the best animated shows this year, with a very interesting story. It tells two different stories that are connected to each other, but we do not know how are they connected. And it slowly gives you hints to how they are connected. Decent 9. Skip to Loafer. Skip to Loafer tells a story of a girl who moves into a big city and slowly trying to adjust to her new life. It's a generally fun slice of life show that I cannot really describe. Decent 8. Hell's Paradise. Many people are hyping up this series as the next big show. The action in the show is fantastic, and the mystery of what this paradise island is very interesting. I'm not out here hyping it up as one of the best of the year, but it's still definitely good. Light 8. My Love Story of Yamada-kun at level 999. A show about a girl who plays an MMORPG just because her boyfriend wanted her to play it, but her and her boyfriend broke up. And she still plays it because she generally likes it, but she slowly falls in love with some person else, who also plays the same game as her and is part of her guild. It is a nice, wholesome romance series. Strong 7. Shaminax After School. A romance show where the thing that connects two characters is the fact that they cannot fall asleep at night. And the only place they can sleep at night is using the astronomy club's room. And the only way they can use that room is to become part of the astronomy club. It's a very wholesome romance that tells you a lot about astronomy. Light 8. Black Clover, Sword of the Wizard King. Watching this movie was just pure hype. The action in the movie was fantastic, and it brought a tear to my eye. Not because it was sad, it was because I realized how much I love Black Clover. And it made me excited for the anime to return someday. Light 9. Kaguya-sama, Love is War, The First Kiss That Never Ends. It's a sequel movie that is just more Kaguya-sama, and it further expands the relationship between Kaguya and Shirogane. I did not like it as much as Season 3 of the anime, because it missed out on what I love about Season 3, the side characters, and the side characters were not a big part of this movie. Strong 7. Welcome to Demon School, Iruma-kun. Being the grandson of a demon is hard, especially if your parents sold you to that demon. Iruma finding a way to navigate this world without having any magic powers, and not reveal that he's a human to all these demons, and the way he gets around it is generally fun and clever. The cast of the show is fantastic. It's probably one of my favorite animes of all time. Decent 8. Sound Euphonium Ensemble Contest. Sound Euphonium is my favorite anime of all time. Watching Ensemble Contest, I could not help but have a smile from beginning to end. It continues to be the Sound Euphonium that I fell in love with, as well as expanding on characters that we've seen in the background before. and now they get their big moment in the series. Decent 9. Sunny Boy. It's a coming age story with a mystery, where they're trying to get back home after disappearing all of a sudden. It's one of those shows where I like it, but I don't know how to describe it. Light 8. The quintessential quintuplets movie. Every single girl got their own moments, and we got to see who Futaro chose. Even though some people say that Yotsuba should not have won, he was still the right decision, even though I was a Nino fan. And for me, the ending was perfect for one of the best modern harem anime. Light 8. Masamune-kun's Revenge Arc. I liked the first season of Masamune-kun's Revenge, but this season did not have the same charm for me. But also I'm glad they did not drag out the series any further. Strong 7. Horimiya, The Missing Pieces. This was a sequel series to Horimiya that adapted the chapters that were not in the original anime. We get to see more of the side characters, and it builds on the relationship between Miyamura and Hori. But thanks to the sequel, it has a more difficult watch order than both Monogatari series and the Fate series. Light 9. Is it wrong to pick up Girls in the Dungeon Season 4? This season feels like a completely different show, and it works wonders. We get to see more about the dungeon, and there's far more action. And the main girl of this season, Ryu, has a better reason for falling in love with Belle. Strong 7. Urusei Yatsura 2022. This is a remake of the original Urusei Yatsura. This adaptation works well in the modern era. It is generally funny. Strong 7. Pluto. Watching Pluto felt like I was watching a modern day masterpiece at work. It sets up a great mystery about who is destroying the 7 strongest robots in the world, as well as their creators. And it also talks about the aftermath of dealing with a war, and how it can affect people, whether they be human or androids. Strong 9. Summertime Rendering. Summertime Rendering is probably one of the best time travel animes. It sets out the rules and sticks to it. And every single episode, you're sitting on the edge of your seats to see how everything is going to play out now. Strong 8. Attack on Titan Final Season Part 3. The ending of Attack on Titan did not have to do anything special. All it had to do was land on 2 feet, which it did. And it wrapped up everything that it needed to do. And it also fixed up some issues many people had with the manga, particularly the conversation with Armin, as well as the passage of time thanks to the tree. Decent 9. Scott Pilgrim Takes Off. Many people thought that this was going to be a retelling of the original graphic novel, but we got something way better. We got a reimagining of the original story, where we get to see more with Ramona and her 7 evil exes, and it made you generally like them. Strong 9. Mashle. I watched the first 3 episodes, and I generally just felt like I was good. But I pushed through, but instead of watching it in subbed, I watched it dubbed, and I found myself enjoying it way more. Light 7. I'm in love with the villainess. Being reincarnated into your favorite Otome game, but instead of focus on the main love interest, you want to go after the villainess. And honestly, I can respect that. It's a generally fun show that explores the idea of romance, especially being some person that is gay. Decent 7. Dr. Stone New World. This season of Dr. Stone is probably one of the best. We set up the main villain for the end of the series, who was responsible for petrifying the world. And we actually get to travel outside the world onto Treasure Island, where we have one of the best villains for the year, Ibarra. Decent 8. The Eminence in Shadows. Our main protagonist just makes things up, and it somehow ends up being true, which provides a hilarious dynamic between him and the rest of the cast, because it's all just a misunderstanding. He thinks this world is just a game, but actually this world is deep and well thought out. Decent 8. Jobless Reincarnation Season 2. The Jobless Reincarnation continues just to be one of the best isekais. We get to explore Rudy's trauma about how Season 1 ended, which led to him having some performance issues, and the way he's going to solve his performance issues is by going back to school. This show is never going to be the allegations. Decent 8. My Happy Marriage. Going to watching this, I expected just a wholesome romance series with nothing else. But somehow we got a power system. I generally think I would enjoy this show without the power system. Light 7. Vinland Saga. Vinland Saga is just a fantastic show. In Season 1, we went through a story about revenge. In Season 2, we went from less action to more character building. Strong 8. Bleach The Thousand Year Blood War Part 2. This season of The Thousand Year Blood War was basically all action, with some lore, but mostly action. Finally get to see some of the best fights that the Bleach series has to offer, with my personal favorite being Grammy versus Kenpachi. If you like the fights in Bleach, this season is for you. Light 8. Zom 100, Bucket List of the Dead. Tired of working your daily corporate job? Then create a bucket list of every single thing you wanted to do, and do them during the zombie apocalypse. This show is generally fun and heartbreaking, especially as some person who works a corporate job now. And I'm generally happy that they got to complete this after going on a 3-month hiatus. Decent 8. Spy Family Season 2. This season of Spy Family is better than the first, solely for the fact that Yor actually get to do assassin stuff now. Spy Family is at its best when we get to see Yor do assassin stuff, Lloyd be a spy, and Anya being able to read minds and reacting to what is going on around her. Light 9, the 100 girlfriends that really love you. This show is peak harem anime. That's because our main protagonist is just not going to have 5 love interests. He's going to have 100 girlfriends. This show is generally funny because it plays on the tropes that harem anime have. And it does not have just one best girl. Every single girl is best girl. And they are lucky to have Rentaro as a boyfriend. Strong 7. Uma Musume's Pretty Derby, a sports anime about anthropomorphic racing horse girls from Japan that are also idols. It's a weird concept, but it's generally one of the best sports anime I have watched because it goes into topics that I don't see a lot in sports anime. The idea of a retirement, realizing that you're no longer at your peak, and it has one of the best comeback stories I ever seen. And it left me crying on the train watching this. If there's any show I can recommend, this is it. And if you cannot watch all 3 seasons, just watch season 2. Strong 8, Jujutsu Kaisen season 2. The Shibuya Incident arc is one of my most anticipated arcs in anime, and JJK delivered. There were some moments where I did not like the animation style choice they went with, but it still looked fantastic. Light 9, Bungo Stray Dogs season 4 and 5. My expectations for this season were extremely low, especially because I did not like season 3. But season 4 and 5 delivered above and beyond. There were many moments where my jaw was legit on the floor, and it made me care about characters that I did not really care about before, and they introduced new characters that I generally like. These 2 seasons made me look forward to what the future for Bungo Stray Dogs has. Strong 9, Oshi no Ko. Going into 2023, this was my most anticipated anime. That's because I read the first couple chapters of the manga, and it felt like I was reading something special. And watching the anime, that something special was fully realized. It showcased what the entertainment industry is really like. The good, the bad, and the ugly. This show had such a strong impact for me that there's no doubt about it that this is my anime of the year. 10.